God lovingly instructs us. God lovingly teaches us. And then God lovingly expects that you would have a shepherd who would teach these things. And then He expects that the people would lovingly desire to walk in a manner that is worthy unto the Lord. James tells us that it is a righteous man's prayer availeth much. James 5:16. And I believe that completely. But let me also say a warning here. And this is evidence in our own culture that people think prayer is where the power is. You'll hear this. Prayer. Praying for you. If you hadn't been praying for me, I wouldn't have been healed. If you hadn't been praying for me, I wouldn't have been able to overcome this sin in my life. If you hadn't been praying for me, the accident would have been worse. You see, the emphasis that we're putting is not upon God. The emphasis we're putting is upon the words that come out of our mouth. As though we have some kind of a way to dispense some kind of a spell, some kind of a magical incantation, some kind of power that we have independent of God. But twice the apostle has said, we give thanks to God. And in his prayer, he's acknowledging from the first to the last that it is God who does these things. He uses the doctrine, so we have the doctrine of prayer, but prayer is a pitiful piece of power. Even the secularists believe in the power of positive thinking. And arguably, they're more powerful than many professing Christians are with their positive thinking nonsense. The Christian's power doesn't come from his ability to think positively or speak positively. His power comes from God. The church of the living God, if we do not put our hope there, we will not be looking to the right place to accomplish or to walk in a manner that is worthy unto the Lord. No wonder the church in the Western world is so pitiful. She thinks her power is all in herself. It's in her buildings. It's in her innovative programs. And yet nobody in the church house are praying. Husbands aren't praying for wives, and wives aren't praying for their husbands. Children aren't praying for their parents, and parents aren't praying for their children. We're just filled up with all kinds of philosophical nonsense.